Well, obviously, most of us got the team list right. There's no surprises in what happened to the team. Looks like we're going forward heavy against the Warriors there. If Bolder can bring up the team there.
There we are.
Our most excited player, obviously, is our new captain, Cam McGuinness, starting in at lock 13, which is where he should be playing in Boldo's favourite position. Like I mentioned, we're going with 4 forwards on the bench against they're a big, robust Warriors pack. So the rest of the team isn't too surprising, but we're sort of asked to have maybe a utility on the bench, but it looks like we're not going that way. I still think Cam could shift into the centres if crisis happens, but yeah, just a standard Sharks team, it looks like.
How do you see this match playing out, Chris?
Oh, I told you my last prediction. We're winning this game. We're Sharks by 8.
Sharks by 8. Who do we have to look out for on the Warriors, though?
Yeah, well, obviously we don't want to bash up AFB too much because we want him prime for next year. But maybe we'll just sort of show him how we're going to play and beat. And he goes, I might want to leave early and go across. Kind of worried and excited by the return of Roger Tuivasa-Sheck in the centres, but at least he's not playing fullback. And they're missing Charles Nicol-Kostat, one of our favourite players who changes the pronunciation of his name, but he's not at fullback. They've got a young fella there playing fullback, so maybe that's their weakness. Like my prediction said, I think the Warriors are going to rest on their laurels from last season and hope they're just going to waltz into the finals, but I see a little bit of a hangover for them this season.
So Sharks by 8. If you have a prediction yourself, get it into the comments section. Keen to see what all of you guys think is going to happen. And I've just given a bit of a teaser to where we're going to look, because we're actually going to look at our predictions from last week and what we actually said would happen. So I'm just going to hit slideshow here in terms of what we actually said would happen in terms of the team lists. Let's just see if we can find. So that was the team that was named. Kennedy, Cattell, Ramey, and Talakai.
This was a bit of a stitch-up last week, wasn't it? Jeez.
Why was it stitched up last week, Franco?
Changing the goalposts, had all the comments in there about if people are injured or whatnot, all ignored. By all reports, Williams' team was fiddled with, so that was
Lats,
good.
actually. It was Lats.
Oh, Lats, right. Yeah. He's not even here to defend himself either. Bloody Lats.
Well, let's see how accurate this team named was. So that is the team that was named. Chris Kelly, well, you got 6 wrong. So, look, Dale, Colin's injured. Ueli's injured, and Rudolph isn't quite ready. On the next one, we had Williams. Well, you were pretty accurate, actually. So Rudolph was on the bench, and who did you miss completely? Royce Hunt didn't fancy Royce Hunt at all. Franco, you were actually pretty good because you pretty much got everyone right except for Kafusi and
Ueli.
What is it? Hamden Ueli.
I had Ueli if fit. But anyway, all good.
Caveat.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next one was Lats. He got a couple wrong. He got Finucane and Cam. And then, look, as predicted, I got all of them right. So what can I possibly say?
I want to replay. So, some of our viewers check last week. Of course, the guy running the team getting wrong.
I'd just like to note, if we could go back to that, Baldo. I don't know if you can, if you've got that ready or not.
Yes.
I'd just like to note that for a guy that may or may not have doctored up those results, he still couldn't doctor them correctly because he's got his props in the wrong location and marked them as correct. So
we just lost.
I can't be absolutely.
Played Monopoly with the Baldermans before, and crazy new rules come out of all of a sudden, and I think that was just one of them just then.
We just lost a whole stack of viewers. Is that you, Shane Hayne, refereeing? I'm talking my hands here. Anyway. This is ridiculous. Got to control the ruck. Stitch up.
This is true. All right,
cheat. Send off.
Well, anyway, look, we were pretty close with the team lists and the team names, actually, as we just bring those up, actually, and go back and look at that. I think it's I thought the selection of Cam McInnes was kind of signalled by the fact that they named him a co-captain, and so therefore it was kind of signalling the fact that Dale Finucane was not going to get picked. Actually, we should have picked that.
We did.
And then, some of us did.
Franco and I said that.
Congratulations. And then I don't know about four forwards. I just don't see why we need 4 forwards. I guess Hazelwood doesn't play a whole bunch of minutes, but it is exactly the team that we expected them to name, isn't it?
Against the Warriors. Against the Warriors, having 4 forwards, as Kelly said, McInnes being able to have that utility value, I think it's worth the gamble. Maybe it's a testament to Cade Dykes' fitness. They said, look, you've got to play full 80 minutes in New South Wales Cup. And who else? I think Dykes isn't even on the extended bench.
Dykes is injured, so...
Oh, true. Sorry, he is too. Sorry,
he's recovering, so he's not available as that utility player. Obviously, we don't have Connor Tracy anymore. So anyone that would be that utility player, I think, is a little bit green. We spoke about Atkins before. Wouldn't probably put him in yet before he gets a bit more match fitness and sort of sees what he can do there. So 4 forwards it is.
Do you reckon they'll make any changes with the fact that we've got Ero, Hiroti? There was a few utilities on that extended bench if need be up until they cut that down to 2 just before game day, and then
one of them runs as 18th man, Williams.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, we'll see.
I think they've shown their hand. They're running the 4 forwards, I think.
And you got to remember they're flying over New Zealand as well, so they've got to take a bit of an extended squad, for a couple of injuries
in case
or captain's run that happens. You don't want to run out of a player when you're in a different country. So
yeah,
they actually take 22 over. So we'll see what happens.
Franco, how does this match play out?
Man, I've been burnt by too many round 1 losses. I can't get on board with Kelly. It's a loss for me. Probably a tight one though. I'll say 2 points down.
All right, Williams, we're going to transition to you. Give us a bit of the history on actually what do we need to know about us playing the Warriors.
So with regards to the overall numbers, I'll say congratulations to the Warriors. They've entered their 30th season now, so I wonder if they're celebrating that this year or whether they're going to do a Sharks year after celebration. But anyway, this is their equivalent of 1996 if you compare it to Sharks history in theirs, having started in 1995 in the old ARL. We've played 48 matches. We've won 28 and the Warriors have won 20. So it's more than I thought, given that the Warriors have had some recent running against us, but for a period of time early on in the record and then also throughout the late 2010s, I suppose 2015 to 2020-ish, we had a good record against them. At Mount Spa, we played 19 matches. We've had 9 wins. They've had 10. Looking at the last match we played at Mount Smart was a forgettable one last year. They towed us up 44-12 on a Sunday afternoon in the dark over there. Hazelwood had that try disallowed, unfortunately, because he ran a fair distance after regathering.
How good was that try?
That no try, yeah. So, and that was at a crucial point of the game, and it could have turned things for a bit. But I remember our forward pack just got steamrolled. What's his face? I won't even mention his name. I suppose Metcalf carved up from 5'8". Is he fit at the moment? I know he's got some troubles and hammies. I know he's a Franklin favourite.
Is
he fit?
Yeah, he's starting.
Yeah, so looking at that, we'll see how we go. I want to touch on quickly the match before that we played at Mount Smart in 2018. We won 18-15. Strange score. It was 14-all with about 10 to go. Sean Johnson popped a field goal. And then Edric Lee scored off a blatant Ricky Lasselli forward pass down the left to score in the corner right on full time and win. We'll talk about that in depth another time, but I will foreshadow / cross promote. We'll be releasing a video sometime later today / tomorrow. It's called a new season series that we're calling it called Classic Cronulla Chronicles, where we cover a classic match of the team we're playing against each week. Don't worry, they'll all be wins. This time we're looking at round 20, 1999. It involves one of our favourite seasons of all time. In a close one against a pretty good-looking Warriors side at the time, despite the fact they missed out on the 8. It was a real seesawing affair, and one of our favourite sons, so to speak, who also has a son in the junior system.
Watch the video.
Spoilers. No, watch the video, but I'll just refer to there's a guy, so a bit of a parallel. So a guy who's a Sharks' favourite son, who has a son in the under-20s, may well have played a starring role in that match. Check it out when it comes out. Classic Cronulla Chronicles. There'll be plenty to come next week against the Bulldogs. It may just involve the 2001 semi-final, one of our favourite matches of all time. So check it out. Would you like a prediction from me, David?
I would like a prediction from you, Matthew. Yes.
So we never win round one. The Warriors are coming off the back fence. They'll have all the crowd behind them. I don't know how well they'll go this year, but they'll be up for this one. I think we'll be up for it too, and I think our defence will stand up, hopefully. But we started 2016 with a tough away trip that we went down 20 points to 14 to the previous premiers. This time I think we're going to go down by the same score, 20 points to 14 against a previous top 4 side in the Warriors. So we'll show put together a decent showing, but I don't think we'll get the biscuits this time.
When was the last round one win?
2021 against the Dragons at Cogra in what was our
2021.
home match in the rain. Yeah, it was good.
Okay. All right.
Well, I'm just going to go completely against you guys. Francis has called it. Nico's quad soreness settled. Sharks win. Sharks win well. I'm calling it right now. I'm completely changing my tip. You guys are wrong. The Sharks are going to come out and blow them away. 13 plus, baby. Let's go. And I think the player who is top of Boldo's tiers will score 2 tries. But, hey, what would I know? All right, let's bring in let's move on to our next segment. Actually, let's just do that.
Boldo, the contrarian, always.
Well, I just decided I think the Sharks can win. Why can't the Sharks win?
You're right.
They can.
I say they can.
They are going to win.
I think the Sharks can win. All right, well, thanks for that support, Williams. All right, well, let's boot Williams out, let's bring Lats in. How good's that quick transition?
Hello, legends.
Hello, mate. You're going to give us a quick tip for the Warriors?
Mate. Great show so far, gents. I'm happy with this week's team. Nice forward heavy bench. Shows that Fitzy must be pretty confident that Nico's squad has settled. On the other hand, Toby coming off the bench shows that he might be having a bit more trouble with that toe than we think, but who knows? Sharks Warriors probably be up by 30 and lose by 2. But I'm going to say Sharks will win in a thriller 19-18.
All right. Maybe